at the point x is equals to minus 1. They want us to find the derivative of the function y is equals to 2x raised to the power of 2, open brackets 2x minus 1, at the point that x is equals to minus 1. Very easy. Now, but I've told you several times that whenever you're seeing something like this, whenever you're seeing a bracket, now the first thing you need to know at the back of your mind that which rule are you applying? So in this situation, you are applying the product rule. Why? Because you are seeing that there is a bracket here, and there are two variables that needs to be multiplied. Now, so you are using y, which is equals to uv. So we are applying the product rule. And I've told you that when you're having two things like this is your u and this is your v. They are different variables. So if I'm going to do it now, my u is equals to 2x raised to the power of 2, and my v is equals to 2x minus 1. So if I'm going to use it, don't forget that the formula for product rule, is uv prime plus vu prime, just like my own method. Now, so my u prime means I want to differentiate this one. So it means that 2 multiplied by 2 gives me 4x, and 2 minus 1, that's 1. So I don't need to put it here. So v, I told you that whenever you have this minus any number that does not have the x, you take it away. Now, so this is 1 multiplied by 2 gives me 2, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So x raised to the power of 0 is 1. So 1 multiplied by 2 is 2. Now, so now let's now apply this. Now this is JAMB 2008 question. Now let's now apply this to let's apply everything we have and input it here. Now if I'm going to do this now, my u is 2x raised to the power of 2. Open bracket, my v prime, sorry, this is my v prime. My v prime is 2. Plus my v is 2x minus 1. I don't need to open any bracket again. And my u prime is 4x. So doing this gives us 4x raised to power 2. That's 2 multiplied by 2x squared. That's 4x plus 4x multiplied by 2x. That gives me 8x squared. Minus 1 multiplied by 4x. That gives me minus 4x. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to expand it. So this gives me 12x squared minus 4x. The reason why I'm saying 12x squared is because I collected like terms. The like terms are already in place. So I can add this together. The reason why I can add this together is because both of them have the same power of 2. I cannot add x squared and x together. And the reason is because they are not carrying the same power. If they have the same power, it will be easy for me, or it would have been easier for us to add them together. But since these ones have the same power, then we can add them together because they are in the same category. So 4x squared plus 8x squared gives us 12x squared. Now, we have gotten the derivatives, but we are not done because the question is telling us that at the point where x is equals to minus 1. So where x is equals to minus 1, this is giving me 12, open bracket, minus 1 raised to power 2 minus 4, open bracket, minus 1. So minus 1 raised to the power of 2, that simply means minus 1 multiplied by minus 1. And minus multiplied by minus always leads to positive. That is minus times minus gives us plus. So I'm having 1. So 1 multiplied by 12, that is 12. And don't forget that the owner of this minus is 4. So minus 4 multiplied by minus 1. That's the same thing as minus times minus gives us plus. So minus 4 multiplied by minus 1 is plus 4. That's a positive 4. So 12 plus 4 gives me 16. So the derivative of the function is giving me 16. The derivative of the function at point x is equals to minus 1 gives us 16. So how easy was that? That's a JAMB 2008 question. JAMB 2008 question. Now, there's another one again. There's another one from 2008. There's another one from 2008 that we have again. There's another one from 2008 that we have again. Now, find the derivative. Find the derivative. Find the derivative of y is equals to x raised to power 7 minus x raised to power 5 over x raised to the power of 4. X raised to the power of 7 minus x raised to power 5 over x raised to power 4. Now, there's actually an easy way to do this. There's actually a very, very easy way to do this. Now, if I want to do it, I would have advised that we use the quotient rule because that's the rule that applies for this because this is division. But let's not waste our time now because when you are dealing with JAMB, you are dealing with speed. You are dealing with speed. So I'm going to simply break this down. That is x raised to power 7 over x raised to power 4 minus x raised to power 5 over x raised to power 4. So now, don't forget that the law of indices sustains that this one means x. Now, the law of indices is telling us that x, the division turns to minus because they are the same base number. Then this sign means division. 7 minus 4 minus x raised to power 5 minus 4. This is what the law of indices is telling us, that the division signifies minus as long as their base number, they are the same thing. So this is x raised to power 3 minus x raised to power 1. So I'm going to differentiate this very easy. So this gives me 3x raised to power 3 minus 1, that is 2 minus what? Minus 1. And this is our final answer. This is our final answer. Finding the derivative of the function. That's our final answer. How easy was that? We didn't even use 2 minutes on that question. So I'm teaching you to always deal with speed as well because you never can tell. We need speed. You can be good and be accurate, but you need speed. Now let's move to the next question. Like I said, we'll be solving real-time questions. We will not be able to solve them all today. We can't solve them all today because there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions when it comes to differentiation and integration. Especially differentiation has a lot of questions. Likewise, integration. Now, find the minimum value of the function. This is also a JAMB 2008 question. Find the minimum value of the function. Find the minimum value of the function. Find the minimum value. Find the minimum value. Find the minimum value of the function. Y is equals to x, open bracket 1 plus x. Find the minimum value of the function. Y is equals to open bracket x, y is equals to x, open bracket 1 plus x. Now, very easy. The first thing I need to do is to expand this bracket. I need to expand this bracket. So that's x multiplied by 1, that gives me x, plus x multiplied by x, that is x raised to power 2. Now, from here on, I can easily differentiate. So my dy dx here, that gives me, so this is 1 plus 2x. 1 plus 2x. By now you should have already understood how I got my 2x and my 1. By now that should be very, very clear. Now, the maximum value of a derivative is 0. I've told you that the derivative of a number is 0. So now, let the derivative be 0. Let the derivative be equal to 0. So when this derivative is equal to 0, so this is what it means. 1 plus 2x is equal to 0. So 2x is equal to 0 minus 1. 2x is equal to minus 1. If I'm dividing both sides by 2, my x is equal to minus 1 over 2. My x is equal to minus 1 over 2. But we are not done. Because they want us to find the minimum value. So if my x is equal to minus 1 over 2, I need to substitute this back to where it belongs. I need to substitute that back to where it belongs. So if I'm substituting it back to where it belongs, so if I'm substituting my x, which is minus 1 over 2, if I'm substituting it back to where it belongs, so I'm going to have y is equals to, wherever I see x, I'm putting this, minus 1 over 2, open bracket, 1 plus minus 1 over 2. So now, I'm going to have minus 1 over 2, open bracket, 1 minus half. So this is simply going to give us minus 1 over 2 multiplied by, don't forget that 1 minus half is half as well. So multiplied by half. So I'm going to get minus 1 over 4. Minus 1 over 4. So the minimum value of the function y, that is minus 1 over 4. Now, let's proceed. There's another one from 2009. We have another question from 2009. I'm trying to see if I can manage this space. Okay, yes, I can. There's another one from 2009. If s is equals to 2 plus 3t and 5t minus 4. 5t minus 4. Find the s over the t when t is equals to 4 over 5 seconds. When t is equals to 4 over 5 seconds. Now, this question actually looks skeptical, but it's not. It's actually very easy. If you have been following me, you understand it's very easy. Now, what we need to use here is the product rule, because we already saying brackets here. So obviously, you should know that what we are using is the product rule. Now, let's break it down. So s is equals to 2 plus 3t, 5t minus 4. Now, this is, don't forget that the formula for the rule states that when y is equals to uv, this is the rule for the product rule, don't forget. So I'm going to, this is our u and this is our v. So my u is 2 plus 3t. My v is 5t minus 4. So I'm going to expand this one now. My u prime. My u prime, don't forget that you don't need these two. And don't forget that this one becomes 3. And my v prime becomes 5 as well. 5. It becomes 5. By now, I'm expecting that you should have understood how I differentiated this already. But if you don't, you don't. You can always contact me and ask further questions. Now, let's now do this. Now, don't forget that the formula is so the formula for ds dt will now be uv prime plus vu prime. This is our formula, uv prime plus vu prime. So now this gives us 2 plus 3t, and our v prime is 5 plus 5t minus 4, and our u prime is 3. So I'm going to have 10 plus 15t plus 3 multiplied by 5t gives us 15t as well. This gives us minus 12. So I'm going to collect like term. Collecting like term is very easy. So that gives me 15 plus 15, that gives me 30t. And plus 10 minus 12. That is, I'm having a positive of 10 and I'm having negative of 12. So I'm going to get a negative of 2 minus 2. So that is 30t minus 2. 30t minus 2. So I've differentiated that to be 30t minus 2. But we are not done, because the question says that we should find our ds dt. When this is our ds dt, this is our ds dt. But the question is not asking us to stop here. It's asking us to stop when our t is 4 over 5 seconds. So I'm going to put it there by saying 30 open bracket 4 over 5 minus 2. So 5 here 1, 5 here 6. 6 times 4, that is 24 minus 2. And that is what? 22. 22. So our ds dt is 22. ds dt is 22. Our ds dt is 22. Now, I have another question from JAMB 2010. JAMB 2010. JAMB 2010. JAMB 2010. Now, don't forget that if you want to ask further questions or you want to join our live sessions, our one-on-one sessions, don't forget that you can feel free to DM or contact me or reach out to me and let's discuss on how to get you ready. Now this is another question. I think it's number 5 if I'm not mistaken. Y is equals to 2x plus 1 raised to power 3. Now they want us to find our dy dx. Now you see, I didn't make mention of chain rule. I did not make mention of chain rule. Now chain rule. Now let's do that by the side. Chain rule. Chain rule is actually also very simple. Now what chain rule is telling us is that if y is equals to u open bracket n, what it simply means is that our dy over dx is, this one comes out here, it becomes n open bracket u n minus 1 and you multiply by dy dx. Now what it's basically telling you is the same thing as your power rule. The same thing as your power rule, and after you finish it you must multiply it by the differentiation that you have gotten. Now let's apply it here. Let's use this one as a very practical example for our chain rule. Now the first thing I need to do here is to differentiate. Now I want to label this one as my u. I want to label it as my u, just like the question I've done there. I want to label it as my u. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to say y is equals to u3. Take a look at that first. Take a look at that. Y is equals to u3. So if I want to differentiate this one, now, if I want to differentiate this du, if I want to differentiate it, or if I want to call it my u prime, as I used to call it, my u prime, that's my own differentiation. So I can take it at 3, that's 3u2. At this stage, I don't think you should have a problem with how I differentiated this one. So u raised to power 3, the differentiation is 3u2. But don't forget that I'm still saying my u prime. I've not even differentiated this one at all. Now let's differentiate this u. If I want to differentiate my u, the u is what is in the bracket. So I don't need this one, I only need this one. So this gives me 2. So my u is actually 2. So from here on, I think this gets very, very simple. So I need to multiply it. I need to multiply this and this together. Since I've differentiated it, I need to multiply this and this together. So I can now say 3u squared. Yes, if I'm going to use that formula, so my dy dx simply gives me, I've differentiated this one already. I've differentiated this one to be 3u squared rather, multiplied by my dy dx is u, that is 2. So I'm getting 6u raised to power 2. 6u raised to power 2. 6u raised to power 2. But don't forget that we are not done. Because I've inputted my u to be this one. So if I'm going to do it, I'm taking my u back. So this is going to give me my dy dx will now be, it will now be 6 open bracket. Don't forget that our u is 2x plus 1. 2x plus 1 raised to power 2. So that's my dy dx will be 6. Yes, 2x plus 1, 6 open bracket 2x plus 1 raised to power 2. So this is our final answer. That's just chain rule. Chain rule is actually very easy if you can keep an open or a very clear mind. Chain rule is actually easy. But it just gets tangled along the way if you are someone that loses concentration a lot. you might find it difficult to tackle chain rule if you're somebody that loses concentration a lot. Now, let's solve the last question, or maybe two more, I don't know. Let's solve the last question or two more, I don't know. Now, that's number 6. Now, at what value, this is JAMB 2010, at what value of x, at what value of x does the function, at what value of x does the function y is equals to minus 3 minus 2x plus x squared attains a minimum value, attains a minimum value. At what value of x does the function y is equals to minus 3 minus 2x plus x raised to power 2 attains a minimum value? Very easy. I could solve this question under 2 minutes. Now, the first thing you need to do is to find your dy dx. That's by using your power rule. Now, this 3 you don't need it because the 3 does not contain x, and this one automatically turns to minus 2 plus 2x. By this stage, you should, like I said, you should already understand how I got this. I can also say that one should be 2x minus 2. It's the same thing. Minus 2 plus 2x. Now, don't forget that I told you that at maximum value, your dy dx is equals to 0. At maximum value, your dy dx is equals to 0. I've told you that the derivative of a number is equals to 0. The derivative of a number is equals to 0. So when you know that your dy dx is now 0, all you need to do is to say 0 is equals to minus 2 plus 2x. So I can bring this one to say 2 is equal, I collected like terms. So the negative here, once it's come here, it turns to positive. So that's why it's 2 now. So 2 is equals to 2x. Dividing both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 2, my x is equals to 1, my x. So at what value does x attains the maximum function? At value 1. At value 1. At value 1. There's another similar question to it. That is from JAMB 2009. There's a similar question to it. That is from JAMB 2009. That is from JAMB 2009. Now, what value of x? This should be the last question. What value of x? What value of x we make the function? We make the function x open bracket 4 minus x a maximum. Now, very easy. These questions are not questions that we should spend 2 minutes. The first thing you need to do is to expand this bracket. By expanding this bracket, this gives us 4x, that's x times 4, that's 4x, minus x squared. So now, you can now differentiate your dy dx. Your dy dx can now give you, I told you that this one gives you 4. You should know how I got that 4 by now. Minus 2x. Yes. What value of x will the function now? I've already told you that maximum value, your dy dx is 0. Maximum value, your dy dx is equals to 0. So that is 0 is equals to 4 minus 2x. If I bring this one here, it becomes minus 4, which is equals to minus 2x. I'm dividing both sides by the coefficient of my x, which is minus 2. And doing that, my x is equals to 2. So at that rate, at value 2, my x open bracket 4 minus x will make the maximum. So we've come to the end of today's session. We are going to be solving a whole lot more under differentiation. There are a lot of authentic JAMB questions under differentiation, so I don't want you to miss it. I don't want you to lose out on it. So refer your friends, tell a lot of people about STEM with Peter. Refer them and let them know what they are missing. Let them know what they are missing. So any further questions or any question you like to throw to me, or if you like to interact, don't forget that our live sessions one-on-one are still going on. So if you're interested, reach out to me and let's make it work. Thank you. Stay tuned.